it's a super important message, the one about driving safely and making sure you don't drink and drive.
Yeah, it is an important message. Me and Jake were lucky enough to do the advertising, and it's a great message to handball your keys off to someone else. If you're coming to the footy, plan your trip, plan how you're going to get home. There's so many methods apart from driving your car to get home. So it's a really important message, and one we endorse thoroughly.
Same thing, I guess, Jake.
Yeah, same with us. Fantastic message, and implore people to get home safely. And if they're drinking, then make a smart decision.
Darcy, just on the game this week, you played in a few now showdowns. How big is it, and how excited do you get for a game like this?
Yeah, look, it's a normal game in terms of the 4 points, but there's just so much more riding on it, and like the minister said, it divides the state, and there's such a big build up, and to have a capacity crowd coming in is huge, and both teams coming off pretty poor losses. It's going to be a big game.
Does that one sting a bit? I mean, quite a few critics have been pretty strong on you guys saying a failure interstate. Does that hurt and sort of stick with the group a bit?
Yeah, look, it does hurt a little bit, but it's more the internal stuff. I feel like we didn't play our best footy, and we got beaten up around the contest a little bit, and our forwards and our backs probably didn't play to the level that we expect, and it's obviously disappointing to perform like that, but the beauty with footy is there's always next week, and the next week being a showdown makes it even bigger.
Darcy, there was a pretty sad end to a good win for the Maggies yesterday with Rocky. He looked to be in a bit of pain, mate. Have you spoken to him? Is there any sort of word on how he's going?
It's obviously a disappointing one for Rock. He'll get scans today, and we're hopeful that the damage isn't too bad and that he's able to get back, but I guess we'll wait and see how the scans are, and it is a disappointing one, because even though he wasn't playing in the AFL side, he was just bringing so much to the group, and when he was playing as the sub and playing as the Maggies, he was giving those young boys great support, and it's a really disappointing one.
Jake, obviously for you guys it was not a great performance on the weekend. What did you make of what happened, and perhaps...
Sorry, can we step into the mics a little bit more? Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
What did you make of the performance against the Giants? Obviously not a great result.
No, it was really disappointing for the club. We felt the last 2 weeks we'd been somewhat competitive, and we were able to potentially win those games, but on the weekend it was a real blowout, clearly, and fundamentals weren't there. We were fumbly, we were beaten up around the ball, lost clearances significantly. They got field position off that, and we couldn't contain them. So it was a really disappointing loss for the club, but like Darcy said, it's the beauty is in 7 days' time we get another opportunity.
Hopeful the skipper sounds like he's recovering well, that he might be putting his hand up to play. Yeah,
I think so. I think the fact he spent the last 10 or so minutes on the bench in the fourth quarter was just precautionary to make sure that he's right to go this Saturday.
I mean, today or Sloan? Yeah, Sloan.
Sorry. Sloan. Let's say game day. Sloan is a chance. Yeah, he'll train this week, as far as I'm aware, and he'll put his hand up for selection.
How's he been around the place? I imagine he's the sort of person that's banging on Nixie's door daily.
Yeah, he came back out last week to main training and trained fully and trained with great energy. So, the way he was training, he could have potentially played last week, but with those eye injuries, you've got to be very careful. I think he's been given the all clear medically to put his hand up for this Saturday.
Have you noticed his absence in that midfield in a big way?
We've got guys in there who are performing well. We've got Benny Keys, who I think still doesn't get the recognition he deserves for a guy who's been delisted 2 years ago. He's playing some pretty good football. But obviously having a guy like Rory come back in will make a huge difference. Obviously clearance numbers on the weekend weren't fantastic, but that's a team thing as well. And there's a lot of guys who've been through there, but Rory's obviously a fantastic player, so he'll make a big difference.
Jake, I know, forgive my ignorance, have you matched up on Charlie much in the past? And if not, Port have got so many great tools down up there. It's going to be a difficult job stopping.
Yeah, it is. Watching them on Saturday night, obviously they didn't play their best footy, as Darcy said, but the talent they've got in that forward half's incredible. Obviously Jordan Butt's playing some good football, so he's probably most likely to take Dixon. But they've got 5-6 other guys who are just as dangerous. So it'll be a big challenge for our back six.
What's wrong with Tommy?
Do they?
Yeah.
No, he was fine.
He was all right?
Yeah, all good, all good. Yep.
What about you, Dust? Who do you usually run around in a showdown? Now that Eddie's gone.
Yeah, now that Eddie's gone, can breathe a sigh of relief there. But yeah, look, I'm not sure who will match up on this week, and yeah, I spent a bit of time in the midfield on the weekend, so I don't think I'll start there. I think I'll be down back again, but yeah, we'll sort the matchups out throughout the week, and yeah, it's going to be a big game and a big challenge, and you know, just despite the performances recently, the Crows always come out and give a really solid contest in the showdown, so it's going to be a really tough game.
Do we see a bit more of you in the middle?
Do you want to move into the centre
Yeah.
a bit more as well for boys?
I don't think so, mate. I think I had about 5 touches in half, so I don't think I'll be up there again.
Why did you end up there?
Obviously, we had Birdo go off as the sub, and Dan's been battling a shoulder injury, so we just thought, I assume the coaching staff thought, you know, down by a bit of a margin, we'd change things up and give them a bit of a different look. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out, but yeah, we'll go back to normal with Boki in there hopefully this week as well.
Just on Ryan, how's he pulled up? Are you hopeful or confident he'll play?
Yeah, we're confident he'll get up and play this week. He obviously copped a knock and had some sore ribs, but I think he's come through pretty well, and we're hopeful he'll get up for this week.
And a bit like Rory, Travis obviously adds huge grunt and drive. To get him back will be obviously massive if he can get himself up.
Yeah, Boki's one of the premier midfielders in the competition, so anytime you get a guy like him back in the team, it's going to make a big difference.
How are you going to go with 50,000 people that sound like that on the weekend? The full crowd for the first time in a long time. I suppose both of you, how are you going to enjoy that?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and you know the fans here from both sides are very vocal and very loud. So yeah, it's going to be a great experience.
Yeah, it's mate. I love playing in front of a Port crowd. To be honest, it's amazing. The pre-game stuff they do is fantastic, and it's obviously a credit to everything South Australians have done and the country have done more broadly to stay safe and get the country back into a good spot. And 53,000 is pretty good.
A lot of Crows fans love to take the nick out of the Port stuff before the game, but as a player, is it something that you can't help but be?
Oh, I love it. It's
fascinated with?
fantastic. I think it's incredible what they've done, that pre-game stuff. It's really, really good. Gets me excited, and I'm sure it gets these boys excited every time they play.
Well, how far have you come since last year's 75-point destruction?
I'd like to think of a fair way. I think the great thing about us this year is that we are going to always revert back to that first game, and that's know that if we can play our best football, then we can compete with anyone in the competition. We did that against Geelong, but we've just got to make sure now that each time we do go out, we bring that intensity, we bring that effort and that attitude, and we know if we do that, then we can produce games like Geelong where we can beat the best teams in the competition. Port Adelaide are one of those teams.
And Darcy, do you take anything from what you're able to do in the last showdown? I mean, it holds some pretty good memories for you guys. Yeah,
look, I think we take confidence out of that you know, when we play our best footy against the Crows, we can beat them. You know, obviously we played them twice in the pre-season as well, and we're able to win both of those games. So we take great confidence from those games. Yeah.
What does that showdown rivalry mean to both of you? Like, you know, I mean, it's been going for however long. You're both kind of new to South Australia. You're both from Victoria. How do you get yourselves up for the showdown? Like, the rivalry, what does it mean? Yeah,
look, it's something growing up in Victoria that you probably don't realise the magnitude of the rivalry until you get over here. But I think once you do come over here and immerse yourself in Port Adelaide and Jake with the Crows, you do realise how much it means to everyone. And yeah, look, it's something that beating the Crows is massive, and I think I lost my first 4 or 5 showdowns, so to be able to win a couple in the recent years is huge, and we'll be looking to do the same on the weekend.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, similar to Darcy growing up in Victoria, you don't realise the magnitude at all, but you get over here and you see what it means to fans and to the people of South Australia, and that's really important. I think the great thing about it, aside from the fierce rivalry, is the fact that you get a whole state watching one game of football, and you get that real unity from the state, which is fantastic.